Good morning, everyone. My name's Dani. I'm here from Yoga Within. This morning, I am nursing a little bit of an injury, so my sister Kenzie is going to demo the class for you. So please be kind to her, and I hope you guys have fun. We are starting on our back, so while you guys are starting on your backs or finding your way to your back, we'll get Kenzie in here. Also today you may want a blanket. We are doing some things on the side, so if you do have pokey hip bones or need some extra support for the knees, you may want to have a blanket. So grab what you need to, find your way onto your back, and we'll get started. Have a good class. All right, so finding your way onto your back, just give yourself a second to settle in here. Becoming aware of your breath. Noticing where the breath is sitting in the body today. As you inhale, think about creating space in the body, space in the mind. And as you exhale, just letting go of anything you don't need to be hanging on to, both mentally and physically. Your next breath in, deepening that breath. Moving the breath down into the belly, and as you exhale, allow the belly to soften and relax towards the spine. Repeating that breath 3 more times, inhaling, feeling the belly expanding out, moving away from the spine. And as you exhale, allow the belly to relax in, continuing to deepen the breath. Last one, as you inhale, really think about slowing that breath down, filling that body up. And as you exhale, really getting rid of all that old stale air, that old stale energy. Just bringing some movement back into the body. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling your toes, just noticing how your body feels today. Making some circles with the wrists and ankles. If your eyes are closed, just blinking them open and close a few times. And then go the other way if you haven't already. And allow that movement to stop. Allow the arms to just rest down at your sides. Just gently turn the head from side to side, being aware of how the neck feels today. We're doing a fair amount on your back to start, so just make sure that your head is in a comfortable position. And allow that movement to stop. Stretch those arms all the way up above the head. Stretch those legs out. Take a nice big deep breath in and tighten every muscle in your body as tight as you possibly can. And exhale, relax. Do that one more time. Tighten everything, tight. And exhale, relax. This time, take a breath in, and on your next exhalation, draw your right knee in towards your chest and wrap your hands around the shins. Inhale and take everything back down to the mat. And then on your next exhalation, switching over to the left side. And then keep switching side to side, following the breath, really trying to connect the breath and the movement. It's really important as we move through these exercises to keep that breath going. And think about what's happening through your feet, through your legs. Can you keep those toes facing up towards the ceiling on both legs? And what's going on through the arms? Being aware of your low back and hips and how they feel. And just do one more to each side. And then when you are done on the left side, just allow the whole body to extend out along the mat. Turn your palms up to face the ceiling and then move them all the way up above the head. And then just give yourself a really nice stretch here, creating as much length through the spine as you possibly can. And then just interlace your fingers, bending the elbows, and just put them behind the head. Elbows draw out to the side, and just make sure your hands are in a spot where they don't feel like they're cranking your neck either up or down. They're just gently supporting. From here, take a big deep breath in, press out through the heels, and on your exhalation, lift the torso up off the ground. So everything from the upper shoulders to the mid back comes off the ground. And then inhale and lower it down. And exhale, repeating that. Inhale, lower down. Do 3 more times. Following your own breath, that inhalation brings you back down to the mat. The exhalation draws you up. Don't lose the actions through the legs. Pressing out through the heels, not to the point where they lift off the ground. But keep those legs active. When you are done, bring the knees into the chest. Wrap the hands around the shins. And just rock from side to side. Notice how the back feels. Bring the feet back down to the mat. Grab your elbows with your arms. And then drop the knees right and the gaze left, allowing the arms left as well. And then bringing everything back up to center. And then over to the other side. And alternating side to side. Again, remembering to breathe. You can move into the twist on an exhalation. It softens the stomach, but if not, don't worry about it. And then pausing the next time, your arms come to the right side. Bring the arms down by your side and the knees back up to center. Stretching your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Flex to those heels and then keeping the leg extended like you're trying to hold up a 10-pound weight. Lower the leg down towards the ground. And do that 2 more times for a total of 3 on this side. Watching that low back, notice how the neck feels. And then put that foot sole back down on the ground. And we'll switch over to the other side, doing 3 on the left side as well. So really pay attention to how your body feels with this one. You may want to keep going with this the one leg. And then just bend that knee, put it down on the ground. You may just want to keep going with that one leg going up and down. Otherwise, stretch both legs straight up towards the ceiling. You may need to adjust your hands. So if you know that triangle position right underneath the low back to support it, you absolutely can. Or keep your hands out just down by the hips. Take a breath in, and on your exhalation, lower the legs together, pressing out through the heels. And then inhale, draw the legs back up. And we'll do that 10 times. So we've done 1 together, and let's do 9 more. So 1, 2, 3. Draw the shoulders down. 4, 5, 6. Don't hold the breath. 7, 8. And slow this time. Slow, slower, a little slower. And then slow back up as well, really extending out through those heels. Breathing, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Wonderful job. Now bring the knees in towards the chest, wrap the hands around the shins, and give yourself a much deserved break. And then the feet come flat down on the ground again. Stretch those arms straight up towards the ceiling. And then lift the right shoulder blade off the ground as the right fingertips move up towards the ceiling. Drop it back down, and then switch over to that left side. Reaching, and then drop it back down. And then just keep alternating, really pulling that shoulder blade off the ground, seeing how much movement you can get without rocking from side to side. So it's not about how high up that arm goes, but it's just finding this range of motion in your body. Kenzie has a lot of range of motion through the shoulder blade. Yours might not move quite as much, and that's okay. Just pay attention to where in your body is moving. It's just that shoulder blade. And then just do 1 more to each side. And then relax that. Keep the arms extended straight up. And then remembering that crunch we did at the beginning with the legs straight. Keep the knees bent. On your next exhalation, come up into that crunch, keeping the arms reaching up towards the ceiling. And then really reach that right arm all the way up and across towards the left side. And then come back to the center. And then switch over to the other side. And then back to center. And now making fists. And then open the right hand and switch over. And then make fists, come back to center. And then switch over left. And we're doing rope climbs. So alternating side to side. Keeping in that crunch position. If you do need to come down in between sides, you absolutely can. Keep going. Yeah, alternating side to side. Breathing, not holding the breath. Good job. Keep going. Pressing into the feet, making sure that the knees aren't wandering apart or wandering together. Keep going. Just a few more to each side. Good job. Watching that the shoulders aren't climbing up into the ears. We'll make Kenzie do 2 more to each side. And then slowly lower yourself all the way down. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then allow the knees to move nice and wide apart. So they're almost mat width or wider apart. And then just drop the knees over to the right. And then if it's comfortable to slowly twist the upper half of the body a little towards the left. It's just a gentle movement. And then come back to center. And then over to the other side. And then one more time, coming back up to center, stretch the arms up. And then switch what arm you had on top. Yeah, and then one more time to each side with that twist. So dropping and then a light twist with the upper body. And then over to the other side. Wonderful. Coming back up. All right, place your hands right down by your side. And really nice and close if you can. And then move the feet close together. So not that they're touching, but they're about a foot length apart or in line with the hips. Chin tucks in gently towards the chest, just creating as much length as you can through the back of the head. It's not a crunch down. Press into the hands, press into the feet, and all at once, your hips and your torso move up towards the ceiling. Now, just play with this for a second here. You may need to move the heels a little closer towards the sit bones, and you may need to move them further apart if you're having any pain through the knees. So just check it out. And then all as one unit, lower straight back down to the ground. And then press up and lower down. We'll do that 10 times together, and I will count to 10 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold up. Now you may need to readjust the feet again. I know the movement, sometimes we've shifted places. That's okay. Really think about lifting everything straight up towards the ceiling, all the way from the top of your chest to your knees. Lift it up. Yeah. Press into the feet. And then notice what's happening through the legs. Try not to let them wander off to the side. Yeah, don't do that. And then keep them moving lightly together. Breathe. And then slowly lower down. Everything all at once. Bring the knees into your chest. Give the back a break. We'll repeat that one more time. So if you need to make any adjustments for yourself, absolutely take the time to do that. Otherwise, hands come down, feet come down, and press up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold up. And again, watching those actions, drawing the shoulders down and out. So not down towards the heels like you would in a hip lift or bridge pose. This is desk pose, so it's slightly different. You want the shoulders moving out and away from the center line of the body. Breathing, press into those feet. See if you can lift everything up just that tiny bit higher for these last couple seconds here. And then slowly lower down. Again, draw those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself the break that you need for your low back. Notice how you're feeling. And then place those foot soles back down on the mat. Interlace your hands behind your head. Just to even out the body, press into the feet, and we'll do just a couple crunches or chest lifts to even out the body. Coming up. And then inhaling, coming down. Again, making sure that you're connecting the breath and the movement here. Do 2 more and really find that breath connection. Exhale draws you up. Inhale down. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale. Now remember that breath pattern. And come up into that crunch. This time, draw your right knee up. in towards your chest, and then move your left elbow to the right knee. Now bring everything back to center and down. And then switch sides. There you go, back to center and down. Yeah, and then come up and switch sides. And we'll do 2 more to each side. Good job, alternating sides, moving in that twist. So this is option 1. Option 2 is moving into the full bicycle. So stretching your legs out to start. Press into the feet. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Point that right toe, if you can, just the right toe. And then crunch up. And then opposite elbow to knee. And then see, maybe you could get that left leg off the ground, a couple inches. Lower it back down. Come back to center, stretch everything out. And then we'll do one slow one on the other side just to even out everything. So flex into the right foot, point that left toe this time, crunch up. And then right elbow to left knee. And then slowly coming back and down. Now we'll pick it up a bit. So right knee in towards the chest. Yeah. And then opposite elbow. And keeping that left leg off the ground. And then switch sides. And switch again. And switch. And then following your breath, an exhalation takes you back to into the twist. And then an inhalation back to center. So keep going, Ken. You're doing a good job. We'll do 10 to each side. So if you haven't started yet, we'll start counting from 10 for right now. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. Calm down nice and safely. Move the legs nice and wide apart, keeping the feet down on the ground, and do wide-legged knee drops. So drop those knees over to the right. Arms can come out into that comfortable T position and then come back up to center. And just alternating sides at a speed or pace that feels good for your low back. And if this is not what your low back needs, do whatever feels like you will get the best release for you. And then allow that movement to stop. And then roll over onto your right side. Perfect. So from here, this is where you actually may just want to grab that blanket. Now we're going to spend some time on this side, just placing that blanket right underneath the hip. That left hip that's down on the ground, or is it? It's the right hip down on the ground. Sorry, it's right hip down on the ground. So that right bottom arm, you can have it with your head resting in your hand like Kenzie's doing right now, or you can extend that bottom arm down and have your head just resting on the arms. Find what feels best for your neck and your shoulders. That top arm comes just in front of the chest for balance, and then bend the knees slightly. And option 1 is to leave that bottom leg down on the ground completely, and then open up that top knee coming into clamshells. Do 3 here just to test out, make sure you don't need to adjust for balance. And then once you've done your 3, pause and you decide, do you stay here or could you lift that bottom leg up off the ground? And we'll do 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Stretch those legs straight out. And now keeping that bottom leg down on the ground to start, do 3 leg lifts. So lifting that top leg up and then lower it down, up, down, 1 more, and then make any adjustments you might need. And we'll do 10 with that bottom leg lifted. So that this is maybe more when you might need that blanket. So feel free to adjust it if you need to. And then up for 1, 2, 3, keep going. Watching that you're not rolling forward or rolling back. Really think about drawing that belly button towards the spine, creating as much length as you can through the body. And then pause once you've hit 10, lower both legs down, and then stretch that bottom arm out and then move it down just in front of you. And that top arm comes down along the top leg. There you go. Wonderful. Now, lifting, moving into a side crunch. Lift that top leg up and then slide everything up towards it. And then lower everything back down. Leg 2. And then lift everything back up. And then lower it back down. And we'll do 5 more on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th one, hold up if you can. 5, press to the heel, lift up a little bit higher, lift up a little bit higher, watching that you're not rolling forward or back, and then lower slowly down. Roll onto your back, bring the knees into your chest, give yourself a break here, and then you can roll over to your other side. Kenzie's gonna sit up and do a fancy mermaid roll. There we go. All the way onto the other side. So again, what you needed on that last side might be slightly different than what you need on this side. So just feel open to making any adjustments that you need to. So head in hand if you need to. Start with that bottom arm, or bottom arm. Start with that bottom leg down on the ground and then open up that top leg for 3, 2, and 3. And now lifting that bottom leg up if you can or want to. And we'll do 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Stretch the legs out. Do 3 leg lifts on this side. Again, adjusting what you need to. Bottom leg stays down on the ground. And 1, 2, 3. And you decide, are we leaving that bottom leg down on the ground or are we lifting that bottom leg up? Adjusting the arm if you need to. And then doing 10 on this side. 1, 2. Watching those feet. Flexing through the heels. Watch that top arm that you're not rocking forward or back. Really think about drawing the belly button towards the spine, creating as much length as you can from the torso down to the heels. And then once you're done your 10, lower that leg down. And then we're doing our side crunches. So extend that bottom arm straight out and a little down from the chest. Top arm goes straight down the top leg. And then on an exhalation, lift everything up. And down. And up. And we'll do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold up. And then see if you can move up a little higher. And a little higher. Really, we just want to see if Kenz can touch your toes. Keep going. And then slowly lower down. And then rolling onto the back. Bringing the knees in towards the chest. Rock from side to side. If happy baby would feel better for you, absolutely move into happy baby. And then allow that motion to stop. And then draw the knees in towards the chest, roll over to one side, and then help yourself up into a nice, comfortable seated position. And then, just move that blanket somewhere far, far away. There you go. And then lifting up nice and tall. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders a little bit. Just noticing how you feel now that you're in an upright position. Gravity's fighting you in a different way. And then go the other way. Perfect. And we won't spend too long here. Stretch those arms out. And then exhale, twisting over to the right side. Breathe. Inhale, come back to center. And then over to the other side. And again, just notice how that spine feels. We'll do one more time to each side just because we were on our back so long. Come back. And then switching sides. And then coming back to center. Reach those arms up. Just make nice tight fists. And then let go. And then place your hands down on the ground. Put your right foot on the floor. And then cross that left one underneath. And then now, either you decide, do you really need to leave your hands down on the ground, or could you bring them into heart center? No, you're fine. And then stand up without using those hands. And we'll do 3 more on this side. So come back down and then come back up. Yay. And then 2 more on this side. And then Hopefully this was your tricky side. And then we'll switch legs. So come back down. And then now you need to switch legs. So left leg up and right leg down. And we'll do 5 on each side because that's what we did on the last side. So I'm gonna make them do 4. All right, come up and then back down. And 2. And 3. Good job. And 4. And we get a bonus 1. And 5. And come all the way up to standing here. So find your way to the front of the mat. Do a quick little sun salutation just to even that body out. So move how your body needs to. Forward folding, lengthening through that spine. And then stepping back, not holding the breath. Drop the knees down to the ground. Point the toes back, lower down onto your belly. Inhale, coming up into upward dog. And then exhale into downward dog. And give yourself just a second here. Really allow the hips to relax. Allow the back of the hamstrings to start to let go. And the shoulders to release. And hop, step, jump, crawl, however you need to get back into that forward fold. Find your way there. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, lower those arms down. And then lift those arms straight out in front of you at shoulder height. And then sit back like you're sitting in a chair. And then come back up. And then move your feet a little wider apart. Yeah, maybe for you. And then sit back down. Yeah. And then sit a little lower. And then lift up through the chest. And draw your belly button towards the spine. And breathe here. Now think about what's happening through the shoulder blades. See if you can draw those guys together. So opening up through the tops of the shoulders, opening out and up through the chest as you think about gently holding like a tennis ball between the shoulder blades. So not quite as aggressively as squeezing a lemon or trying to squeeze a pencil in between the shoulder blades. Just a gentle pull together. Breathe and then see if you can sit a little lower. And now notice what's happening with your knees. Do they hurt? And if so, you may need to make some adjustments. As you can see, Kenzie's knees are hitting past her ankles. That's okay as long as it's not creating a weird pressure in your knee or any pain. Now drop a little lower. Such a bonus when I get to talk so long, okay? And then stand up. And then sit back down. And then one more time, stand up. And then sit back down. And we'll do 4 more of those. So down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold down. Now taking that right leg, tap the toes out to the side. And then back in and drop your butt down again. And then drop the leg, take that right leg and tap that foot forward. Perfect. And then bring it back in. Drop your butt. And then take that right foot and step it back. Just a gentle tap though, and then bring it back. And we'll do that one more time on this side, repeating that. So out to the side, just a quick tap, bring it back in. And then forward and in. And back and in and sink down. And then stand up. And then come back down and we'll switch sides and Kenzie will pivot so you can see her on the other side. Yay! All right. And now take that left leg out to the side, bring it back in, and forward, and in, and back, and in, and out to the side, in, forward, and back, in, and sink down. Ooh. One more, sink down a little bit lower, and then we'll do 4 more squats. So coming up, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good job. Now, you decide maybe it is just hands to knees and taking a breather. And if you can, go into a little bit of a wider leg forward fold. Move the feet so they're about mat width apart and come into a forward fold. If it feels good to hang the torso, so taking the hands off the ground, grabbing the elbows, and just letting everything kind of hang there. do that. Otherwise, keep that supported forward fold. And if you can, just add some shifting from side to side, gentle rocking. Really allow that low back to relax. And coming all the way back up. Keeping your legs wider apart. You don't have to pivot to face the camera, but Kenzie does. And then take those arms into a T position. And then just pulse up and down. Do 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hold, draw the shoulders down, flip the palms so they're facing forward, up is fine. There you go. And then pulsing up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pause. Re-engage that core. Lift up to the top of the head and draw the belly button towards the spine. And then turn those palms forward this time. And you're going to draw the hands, just do a couple so they can see forward. And we'll do 20 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, reach those hands up. And the only direction we haven't gone yet is backwards. So turn those palms back towards the wall behind you. Take a breath in, and away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your arms. And just give yourself a second. Notice how everything feels. Shake it out if you need to. Take those arms out again. And this time give yourself a really nice big hug. And then just shake and shift from side to side. Don't be afraid to let the feet move as well. And then pause. Stretch the arms up. Other arm on top this time. And same thing. Just rock from side to side. Let that back relax. Wonderful. And then take your hands to your hips. And then step or jump your feet about a leg length apart. And then watch your toes. Probably move your legs a little wider apart. Yeah, so if you're Kenzie and you have really nice long legs, actually move them leg length apart. And then turn your toes out to the side. Not my length. And then drop straight down. All right, pause here for a second. And just don't be afraid to readjust the feet. You don't need to have a massive turnout with the feet, so them going way out to the side. It's just so those knees can safely track. And then notice if the knees and ankles are in line, and if they're not, move to where the knees and ankles can be in line, or the knees are just back from the ankles. Yeah. That's a no. Yeah, don't overdo it with the knees shooting over the toes. Not for this one anyway. Okay, then stand back up. And then drop straight down. And see if you can bring yourself parallel to the floor. So drop a little lower. Yeah, there. And then come all the way back up, and we'll do 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold down. And this time we're going to pulse. So bringing your arms forward, you can interlace your hands like Kenzie's doing, or you can just have them straight out in front of you. So wherever feels best, but drop down low, a little lower. Yeah, there you go. And then pulse down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come up to standing, step to the top of your mat. Do one sun salutation to even out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Exhale, step back. You decide if you're dropping the knees or not. Lower down. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe here. And then instead of coming all the way up, drop your hips down, coming into a plank position. Once you've found that plank position, press through the heels. Yeah, and then readjust your hands if you need to. What you're looking for is a straight line from the top of the head all the way down to the heels. So Ken's, drop your hips just a little. Yeah, there. Wonderful. Now move your arms a little wider apart and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And lift up through the chest. Yeah, wonderful. Breathing here. And then don't be afraid to make any adjustments you might need. Watching those elbows. Take a nice big deep breath in, and then drop the knees down to the ground. You decide if toes stay tucked and you sit back and relax the wrists with the heels or the sit bones on the heels and sitting up and relaxing, or if child's pose feels better for you, yeah, like that, and then rolling the wrist. Or if child's pose feels better, but if you're feeling a little dizzy or it's being a little bit much, this one's a nice option. And then we'll do plank one more time, just one more time, I promise. I was originally going to do it 3 times, so you get a gift of only one more time. Okay, stepping back into that plank position. And again, thinking about drawing those shoulder blades open and apart, moving the chest up. The hips move down and back. Yeah, there we go. Creating as much length as you possibly can. If you are wanting to add movement today, you absolutely can just step the feet in and out, but do not feel like you have to add any movement. Sometimes it's just easier to let it be still. We only have about 10 more seconds here. So breathing, don't hold your breath. Shaking is okay. A little turning red is okay, but turning purple, you need to breathe. And then drop down. And then this time, toes back. And then if you can do wide legs for your child's pose, do wide leg. Narrow is fine too. It just gives that belly a little bit of a chance to relax. Breathe here. Give your wrists a break if you need to. And finding your way to downward dog. And once you've found your downward dog, just play with it a little bit here. Bend the elbows lightly and then straighten them again. And then if that didn't feel totally comfortable or supported, move your arms to where you feel that you could potentially bend those elbows. So for me, I need to move my hands wider apart. Kenzie also did just adjust her hands so they're about mat width apart. And then take a breath in, and on your next exhalation, bend the elbows straight out to the sides, so not towards your knees, and lower down, and then press straight back up. And we'll do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press to downward dog. Give yourself a rest here, and then bend the knees. Toes go down, point back, and then coming into child's pose just to relax those shoulders. And then coming back up into downward dog. Jump, walk, step those feet towards your hands. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, lower those arms down. Lifting those arms straight out in front of you. And if squats are a problem, I probably should have mentioned something earlier in the class. Otherwise, just squat down. So coming up onto the toes and then stand back up. And we'll just do 1 more for good measure. And coming down, hold here, and then drop heels, sit bones, extend the legs out. And then find your way to the center of your mat. And then bend the knees, place the heels down on the ground. Reach those arms straight out in front of you. So option 1 is keeping the heels down on the ground, reaching through those hands, making sure that those knees are not dropping out to the side or in, and that there's the same amount of space between the feet and the knees. And then slowly lean back. Yeah, lift up through the chest. Pause here. Open those arms up really nice and wide, and then wrap them back and down. Yeah, there you go. 1 more time for good measure. Out, down, and around and up. Wonderful. So that's option 1. Option 2 is to lift 1 leg. And then option 3 is to lift both legs up. Wonderful. So find what option feels the best for you and move there now. And then breathe. We're going to hold this for 5 breaths, lifting up through the chest. So 1, 2, 3, lift up a little higher, 4, and 5. Lower down, lean forward, wrap the hands underneath the shins, coming into quiet pose just for a second, and then coming all the way back up. And if you did have one leg down like Kenzie, just make sure you alternate sides. So switching over to the other side, and take a breath in, flex to the feet, lift up through the chest, and away we go. 1, 2, 3, lift through the chest, open, 4, and 5. Lower that heel down, wrap the hands underneath the shins, relax here just for a sec, and we'll do one more, and then you decide if you feel that you could try lifting both feet off the ground. If you haven't already, try that. Otherwise, do the option that feels the best for you. And away we go. 1, 2, watching those feet that they're not wandering out and away, lifting up through the chest. 3, 4, lift up a little higher, and 5. Lower everything down, coming into forward fold with the right knee dropped right and the left knee dropped left, and then move the heels as far away from you as you can, creating a bunch of space so the legs are almost straight. Yeah, there you go. And then rocking forward. And coming up. Drawing the knees back together. And if you need any last stretches, so dropping the knees side to side. And then pause and find your way onto your back. Draw that right knee in towards the chest. Taking the left hand to the knee and that right arm straight out from the shoulder. And then bring that right knee across to the left side of the body. Breathe here. Taking a couple breaths, just relaxing that back, coming back to the center, stretching the legs out, wiggling both legs, and then switching over to the other side. So left knee into the chest, right hand to that left knee, left arm straight out from the shoulder, and then on an exhalation, coming into your twists. Just noticing the difference from side to side. It's not about how close that knee comes down to the ground. Just notice if that back shoulder is lifting, and if it is, see if you can draw it a little closer towards the floor. Come back to the center, stretch both legs out along the mat, and then stretch those arms all the way up above the head. Take a nice big deep breath in, and tighten every muscle in your body as tight as you possibly can. Tight, 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 and exhale. Relax, and one more time. Tight, 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 and relax. Allow the arms to move down by your sides. Allow the eyes to gently close and soften. And just reconnect with your breath here. Feeling your body completely supported by the ground beneath you. The breath is slow, calm, and easy. The heart rate is steady. The mind is quiet and at peace. You can stay in your Shavasana for a while longer if you'd like to. Invite you to find your way into a seated position if you are ending your practice though. Take a nice big deep breath in, lifting the arms, drawing the palms together as you gather all that positive energy. Bring it down into your heart center. Just pausing for a moment of gratitude. Being grateful for this time that you've given yourself this morning. I'm grateful for you sharing your morning with us and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you guys. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And see you tomorrow.